Hi guys, welcome to this upload for you guys today. Thank you ever so much for tuning in. If you're new to my channel, you know what to do. Hit that bell icon, hit that subscribe button so you'll be in and updated anytime when I do any videos. Now, I want to admit my videos have been few and far between recently because obviously my work career and my personal life and so on like that. Plus as well, I've been sorting out the setup going forward to obviously doing content for you guys. Obviously, I had to, basically, long story short, my cat decides to put my TV through and break my desk, and I had to buy another one, and that's actually been built up in the over the other side of the room. Obviously, I will be editing my vlogs from this coming weekend, obviously, all in weekend. Now, I just want to say this, that I'm really hyped for it. I always look forward to going to AEW pay-per-views or Dynamite and Collision, as you saw over on my vlog channel. I've taken a lot of people's consideration when I do my vlogs now. I tend to, yes, I used to put it all into one video, but I'm thinking because I've got so much going off this coming weekend, I feel like I want to do it in 4 different parts, like day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. Because obviously I've got a lot going off. I've got 4 events going off. The after party. Quite honestly, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really, really pumped for it. And I want to say this, right? Going into this, right? I'm not throwing shade to anyone that is actually watching my videos. That I feel like this build towards Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega and all the other matches is been very interesting because it feels like every match in its own way is serving its own purpose. Not to outshine each other, but to stand their ground for what they stand for. It's like the last video I actually did for you guys when I was talking about the Trios Championship that I completely forgot that existed. But until this build up towards this pay-per-view with Swerve Strickland involved and all that lot, they've got to give it a new lease of life and making it worthwhile once again to see the Trios Championship. Then you look at the TNT Championship between Kevin Knight and Darby Allin. That's a big risk, putting a young talent in Kevin Knight going forward to face Darby Allin in a no holds barred match. It's going to be interesting to see what he comes out from that. Then you look at the likes, obviously, Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay, the tension and that lot feels like the tension towards, obviously, when The Rock and Stone Cold feuded for WrestleMania 17. It has that same credibility, and I'm being honest with you, it has that same credibility going forward. Then you actually have the women's match that is basically history in the making. That's been long waited overdue for the long awaited rematch between Mercedes Moné and Willow Nightingale for the women's title. It's just so compelling, the storyline going forward. And people have been saying that AEW does not do storylines and long builded. I love when I mentioned this in the previous video that I uploaded, that they bring towards history. They talk about timestamps. If people are just casually watching in or something like that, then they can go onto my AEW and watch those episodes where they actually build up the feuds between everyone that's going on that card. And it's a stacked show. I think we're going to get 10 matches. I think there may be a couple on the buy-in. I'm really looking forward to being there live. Sadly, by the sound of it, it's going to be thunder and lightning, which is going to be an interesting thing to see, as people may have seen on my vlogs from the very first one. I got caught in a rainstorm when I was going there. But to sit in... It's ironic to sit in a stadium that we've actually literally had hot weather all the time, all this summer. Now all of a sudden we're getting these flash storms and so on like that. It's just crazy. Because where I live in Nottingham, it's meant to be thunder and lightning right now, and there's nothing going off. It's just humidity is just stupidly warm, and it's meant to be raining tomorrow now. So you never know what's going to happen. And I tell you one thing, and I'm gonna tell you, I'll be honest with you. The hype I've got for this, and my friends have got this hype, the buzz that we feel be grateful to be a part of history. You know, I don't care if there was only 50 people there. I care about what goes in the ring. I care what has been happening. You know, end of the day, you got to think. Yes, Wembley Stadium's a massive venue, but you got to understand the predicament that AEW's in. That getting Wembley Stadium is a massive achievement to fill it in the first place. You know, they attempted to do it 3 times over. Do I see them going elsewhere with All In, somewhere else in the UK next year? A possibility. I wouldn't mind a different pay-per-view to bring to the start of the year. Not like January, February. I would say May time, maybe the start of the summer. You know, because at the end of the day, it's a tough market, professional wrestling. And to say what they've achieved and what they are achieving, I think it's like 45,000 people, you know? That's just a massive achievement. Because you've got to understand this. Obviously, it's a war between fans at the moment. Who's superior brand and so on. You know, I do love that sort of aspect to it. But it does get a bit heated, don't get me wrong. But I feel like if social media was out... Sorry, my cat's been fucking weird. I got a cobweb in my hair. But that's what I mean. It got a bit... I would say if this was the Monday Night Wars or something like that, I think what would the social media aspect would have been if it was allowed to be the way social media is in 2026, how it would have been back in the day. And don't get me wrong, I do like the conflict of opinions. And I tell you one thing, I'm really, really buzzed about this weekend. You know, obviously you're going to see the end product on the vlogs. By the way, just to let you know, I'm filming this on a brand new phone. I've got now the Samsung Galaxy Plus, which is the S22. So I hope this video quality goes out amazingly for you guys. So I'm aiming to vlog on this one, what I'm filming this video on at the moment. And I just want to say this, that what even more excites me other than hanging with my friends and meeting you guys, if you know me through obviously TikTok towards YouTube and everything, other than meeting up with you guys, I want to say this, I'm really buzzed about Pro Wrestling Eve. You know, their first pay-per-view that's going to be on my AEW. You know, that's a massive achievement for them to achieve, you know, and I've booked my first meet and greets, which is Aubrey Edwards. Yes, I did meet her last year for free. I wasn't expecting her to be there. Didn't take anything to get signed, but I've paid £40. You know, it helps to get more people across. Then I'm booked to meet Kaylee Ray. I'm looking forward to meeting her. Spend another £40. Yes, I've met her loads of times on the independent circuit. Yes, I've got her autographs on posters. But I've not got an 8/10 when she was the women's WWE NXT UK longest reigning women's champion. So I thought I might as well get something what is more credibility to what her career was towards the end, what she actually had with her and Piper Nevin being security of Chelsea Green. You know, and I look at the big aspect of certain things, what's happening in the wrestling world. That just blows my mind where you could waste talent, certain things. Now, when I look at the bigger picture of certain things, like with Pro Wrestling Eve, they are a force to be reckoned with when it comes to women's wrestling, to the point where it's annoyed me, to the point where I'm excited about it. Because obviously, yes, I booked those 2 meet and greets. I didn't book the other 2 because it's one I'm not interested in, 2, and one I met last year. But I love what Dan Reed and Will Ospreay's done because it's got me, myself, and numerous of people on different forums talking about Pro Wrestling Eve, thinking, who else have they got? Who's going to be on that day? We don't know who's doing the meet and greet. Who's going to be on that day? You know, you keep guessing. Yeah, there's matches been already confirmed for that event that is going to be on Friday evening, which that'll be day 1 of the vlog series over on my vlog channel. By the way, when I'm speaking about that, I've uploaded so many of my old vlogs that I've never released on YouTube until now. So please check those out because it took me a while to do. And obviously I needed to create a hard drive space. But as well, I've realised I've worked it out. I've lost over 50 vlogs. And you take the rough with the smooth being a vlogger, and it's sad because I've literally enjoyed vlogging from 2011, I think it was, or 2012. I can't remember when I started doing vlogs, when I first ever had my first ever laptop. But I digress. I plod along, carry on, bringing you guys content. So that's what I mean. It's like when I go back to Pro Wrestling Eve, what I was on about. To you guys, Pro Wrestling Eve is one of my favourite companies I've been to throughout my wrestling fandom. They understand what the fan perspective wants to see, and they give you a bit of difference. No little kids running around. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind family shows, but when it comes to something like Pro Wrestling Eve, where you get burlesque dancers, you get a touch of everything. They've got it right, Will Ospreay and Dan Reed. And I'm really excited to see what's going off towards, obviously, what's going off this coming weekend. I'm excited to see who else I'm going to meet at Pro Wrestling Eve. Then I fast forward to, obviously, I've already talked about, obviously, All in London. I've already talked about that enough. Then I've got on the Saturday, I've got Rev Pro. Now, I just want to say this. This is a bit of a downer. To say that you've got Wembley Arena for your biggest show of pro wrestling and Rev Pro's wrestling history. I feel like, other than the card, what has been building, don't get me wrong, it's exciting me to see fresh new faces, but I would have loved more communication with your fan base. Because I want to point this out, myself, Ollie Harper, and numerous other fans have been asking. And I feel like they've been a bit ignorant towards their fan base, considering their fan base has actually put them there. And it feels like I've been put off by the ignorance behind the close scenes. All we've asked is, are you doing a meet and greet? We've asked numerous of times. We get ignored. That's what I don't like at the moment. I can understand if you've made a big expense to the point where you can't afford to do shows anymore. I can see that coming because these tickets are not selling well, but all I care about what happens in the ring. Although, when I look at the bigger spectrum of it, if you were struggling that much, why did you throw yourself in the deep end? That much that you're ignoring your fan base that has been requesting it. This could have been a golden opportunity. You could have made more money for, obviously, yourself as a company going forward. Right? I don't normally badmouth companies. I'm not one of these people. But I want to be honest with you guys as my people that follow this. I feel like it should have been more organised than it has been, because you've been building this up. Like I've seen on your Instagram, the road to Wembley and all that lot. I'm excited for it, don't get me wrong, but the way you have not interacted with any of your followers, yes, people have been leaving comments towards certain matches and excited about matches and then asking about meet and greets and so on. There's no interaction. But with Pro Wrestling Eve, you've had that interaction. They have delivered what you would expect as a company because they respect you as a person, not as a wallet or a purse that is open to give out money. Quite honestly, yeah, I'm looking forward to the show, like I've said. But you got to learn customer service a lot more. Because at the end of the day, a lot of your fan base are coming not just for All In, they're coming to your show. And if you wanted to impress them, you should have done a meet and greet. You should have done this. Because at the end of the day, you threw yourself in the deep end when you booked Wembley Arena for your show. Don't get me wrong, I'm excited for it, like I keep saying. But you shouldn't have done it too quickly like that. You know, I feel like it's kind of tongue-in-cheek. You just ignore people that are basically paying your way to making you a household name and willing to pay to do this meet and greet, you know, to meet the stars. It's not just about the people that like FTR, the Death Riders, and all that lot, or Pac. No, it's not just about that. It's just the people, the UK scene that I've not actually met yet. Don't get me wrong. On the Monday, I'll probably meet quite a few of them. At least one thing, what I've been tipped off about Progress. They're fantastic. They interact with people. They literally, if you put a comment, they would respond you. You know, learn the customer service, Rev Pro. You know, you may have put a big show on, but you've put too many eggs in a basket far too quickly, I feel. I feel like you're not ready for that size venue. That's not just about tickets not selling well or anything like that. This is just me being honest, because it's expensive. We get that. But it'd be nice if you respect the fans a lot more. Like Progress have. They've interacted with me in the past, which is grateful. I'm grateful the admin behind that team and so on. But I'm not going to let it dampen my spirits towards Rev Pro, don't get me wrong. Then you look at the way Progress is. Shaped up amazing card. I'm looking forward to see how they do a meet and greet. I've been tipped off they do it before, middle, and end of the show to hopefully house everyone as fans, which is great. You know, at least one thing, you know full well there possibly will be a meet and greet there. But anyway, other than that, check out my vlog channel at Galvinox, please do. Because at the end of the day, these vlogs, I'm going to be spending a lot of time editing. I'm off work till the 2nd of June. I'm not June, where am I going? The 2nd of September. Hopefully returning to work from the 3rd of September. I'm going to come back late or early morning Tuesday and then start editing then. So the dedication for you guys is there. But all in all ins this weekend. I cannot wait to get going and get this vlog started. So I hope the video quality is alright for you guys. But anyway, I'm off. Until next time, catch you guys later for another video right here on Wrestling Fan Open Mind. Hey, thanks for listening, guys. Catch you guys soon.